Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. 3 games got played yesterday. 1 series got concluded. 2 carry on and the rain out. So 3 carry on. Let's talk some baseball. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, brought to you by DraftKings. This episode is brought to you by our most recent patrons. Haven't done this in a while. Thanks to all our most recent patrons. We have on the list Zoltorb, Drew D'Amato, Devin Taylor, Richie Molinelli, Angelo Bendero, Isak, Brett Fisher, Jay, Derek Dombrowski, Noah Fletcher, Christopher Lombardo, John G. Sampson, and Chad Taborn. Our most recent patrons, a lot of perks they get. Appreciate them every day.
Chad.
What's up, Chad? Taborn.
I'm just kidding. I don't know him.
Damn. Trev's here. Got his carrot poster behind him, painting picture. Jake's here. Jake Sucks shirt on. BBD behind the dish, and we're going to talk some baseball. We had a rain out, so that lightens the load a little bit. White Sox Astros delayed. Braves Brewers continues. Red Sox Rays done. Dodgers Giants rolls on. Jake, how was your birthday?
James, Trevor, BBD, Jimmy in his JOMBOY Media Essentials hoodie, and we got the hats on. 15% off. Whoops. Code playoffs at the store. My birthday was good. A little, little 13-hour work day. Ease into it. That's what I'm about. I talked to HR. I said I had a vacation day yesterday. 13 hours is nothing. So I gave back a little bit to the community there. I was really bummed out. My phone died on the way into work. I moved my next to the bed charger, so I've been playing with the devil, dancing with the devil a little bit. And there's this group of old people in the park that were doing an old person workout, and they were walking, and they were doing like 10 steps at a time, and they'd do like a little motion while they did it. And so one of the times I was walking by, they were doing like a walk and rock the baby. And so there was 25 people doing the Verdugo baby celebration. Went to record it with my phone died. So that was a little bit of a bummer this morning, but I'm here. Baseball's so hot in the streets. Los Hibido Gigantes. Can't wait to talk about that. Trev's guy, Longo. Trev, what's up, dude?
Longo, how about it? How many Charizards did he buy last night when he was done with it?
That's the question.
That freaking guy. But you know what I got to say? I'm so happy it's not your birthday anymore. Like pretending to be nice to you and like saying nice things and putting it out on social media is very hard for me.
It's uncomfortable.
So when the clock struck midnight East Coast time last night, it was like,
oh, wow. You cut it short on your end.
Yeah. I'm on East Coast time. So I just took a deep breath and was like, finally, things can be back to normal.
Well, Jake, your story reminded me. I almost got you a gaggle of iPhone chargers as a present. I was going to just bring like 10 in a box and have them all like a Russian doll present, and you just kept opening them. It's just iPhone charger and all of them. Honestly, great gift idea. Yeah. So you can steal that and do that for others. Instead, I got you something else. It doesn't arrive till October 20th, though.
Okay, I'll be ready. And not to throw myself under the bus even further, I actually have a ton of iPhone chargers. I just didn't set one up next to the bed.
Could always use more.
That's so true. Why do they go bad so fast?
Katie bought a nightstand for us that have like the USB. The nightstand plugs into the wall, and then it has the USB outlets.
So nice.
They're like the best thing ever.
I thought I saw those from the moat when I was cleaning it out the other day.
I've been shitty.
The moat looks like shit.
I've been doing
an awful job.
I've been doing a very bad job.
Katie actually
the leaves
told me
are falling, dude.
Did he fall in? Like, this looks like crap.
A lot of leaves in the moat.
I do the mistake of I always have my charger by the bed on the nightstand, but there'll be nights where I'm too lazy to plug my phone in. And I'm like, oh, it's got 70% right now. Like, I'll just put it on the thing and not plug it in because it's not that pressing. And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, that was the dumbest thing. I should have just taken the 3 seconds to plug it in.
I can't do that because I listen to music all night on my phone, so it will die on me. Then I won't wake up. There will be no alarm.
Okay.
Speaking
all right.
of death,
Well,
yeah, there's some dead people.
The Braves and the Brewers, no one's dead there yet.
No.
Besides maybe like all the offense. Jake, do you want to burn it?
I can burn this. The burns are brought to us by DraftKings, if that's okay with you guys.
I'm in New Jersey. I'm making bets.
Another week in the NFL season. Trev's Ravens last night from the dead. Wow.
Oof.
That was silly.
I played against Lamar Jackson in fantasy.
Yeah, I played against Lamar Jackson fantasy.
60 points.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, you can bet $1, $1 American dollar, 4 quarters, math pod. And you can win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. So if you bet on any game this weekend, you would have got a free $100. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was 1943. Top of my head, not a big deal. If DraftKings Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, well, hey, it will be. But they still have their daily fantasy with huge cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY. Throw down $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. It's promo code JOMBOY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I just placed money on the under and on no runs in the first inning.
Jimmy Bets, they're calling him.
Yeah, I'm gonna like blow through this free money that I got by doing that promo.
Mookie's
My
brother.
bets on the. When did I last make bets that just to make the live stream more fun?
You had a hot bet day. What was that? 2-3 days ago, where his Redskins.
No, it was
Redskins.
the Astros. The first Astros White Sox game definitely
Yes.
wasn't the Washington football team game
Yes.
because I just bet on Altuve to homer and the Astros to load the bases in the first inning.
Game 3 in Chicago, right? Yeah.
I found all the plus 800s and put $5 on each,
It's
and it was a lot of them.
It's an angle.
But I am taking the under because nobody scored.
Huge.
Feo in the chat put the last time there was a scoreless game in the NFL was the Giants versus the Detroit Lions, and that makes so much sense.
Yeah. They play this year. That
1943.
could happen again.
All right, let's burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Jake. On your mark. Get set. Burn.
The beer makers and the newest member of the law firm, Freddie Peralta, takes the bump against the last Ion. Ion Anderson and the Braves in the ATL. We are scoreless through 4, just like college. In the 5th, young Jock Boing. Jock Peterson does it again. 402 feet, pinch hit, 3-run homer. Welcome to Jocktober. It's 3-0 Braves. And guess what, fellas? The bullpens did it the rest of the way from there. Ion Anderson, 5 scoreless. How are your playoff stats, kid? Jesse Chavez, Trev's guy, Matzik, Jackson, and Will Smith. The Braves shut out Milwaukee 3-0 to win Game 3 and take the series lead 2-1 with the chance to win it in the ATL.
Man,
Way to go.
good job, Jake. This game was on in the background. We had a busy day at work, so I could hear it the whole time. I was walking through, I was checking out, I was tuning in. What's going on, Brewers?
Haven't been hitting, man.
But they've been getting people on base.
We have it right on our stat sheet right here, James. 0 for 16 runners in scoring position in the series.
That's crazy.
Not going to get it done. Rowdy Tellez is the only offense in this whole fucking series. Sorry, I shouldn't cuss.
They're averaging, over 5 men in scoring position a game. And then what's the, a good average would be like 250.
Hell, runners in scoring position should be more than that.
Hell, they'd go for 200 right now.
Yeah.
If they were hitting 200, they might have another dub. Man, that's what I said after the Rowdy homer. Is the storyline of these Brewers going to be who steps up on a given day? And they've gone the last 2 days without anyone stepping up. So, this Brewers offense, say what you want about it, and I know we've kind of turned his name into a joke after, I think what was one Jimmy joke or gaff, but Ion Anderson, this kid's a stud, man. I mean, he's 23 years old, a New York guy, so he's tough. He's not one of these Cali boys that's going to, like, shit themselves on the mound. And he's got 23.2 playoff innings. He's given up 2 earned runs, a 0.76 ERA, and 5 starts. I mean,
he's real deal.
That's real, man. That's awesome. He's a problem.
Shout out Brewers season long. I mean, their offense has never really impressed anybody, especially with Yelly having the year he had. That's tough for them, but they're right at league average, runs per game and runs scored. They're right in the middle of the pack. And then, so their high isn't going to be that high, but their low is low, and we're seeing that right now. They got to bust the bats out. Do a seance in the locker room with the bats. Maybe everyone just go blindfold to the bat rack and pick up somebody else's bat, or pick one bat and you all use it. That'd be something. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It's the playoffs, but maybe.
I want to know how Brewers fans feel about the Jock and Hauser situation. Obviously, Jock got Hauser in game 1, and I think I said, like, it was a decent pitch by Hauser. Jock just beat him. Like, Jock just did all he could with that pitch. Freddie Peralta pitched as well. I think Freddie Peralta had like 2 hard hit balls, 4 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. The Top's coming up again. Is that who it was? Is that why they went to Hauser?
Hauser, you can get in there. Tell me.
It was Darno, Swanson, and then the pitcher spot. And Jock's on the bench, and they're not going to let Anderson go out there again. So even though there was runners on, it becomes a 3-run homer. You almost guaranteed that Hauser was going to face Jock Peterson again, the one dude that handled him. Obviously, it's a little crazy and random that you're like, well, he can't get him twice. Well, he gets him twice, and now it's like, that seems like a bad move. I don't know how the Brewers fan feel about that. Like, when
they have someone that matches up much better than him. I mean, obviously, like, there's Ashby and lefties and stuff like that, but I'm curious if that was the thought process. Like, maybe we try to get some length here out of Hauser, and he's a righty. And
well, the other thing,
I don't know.
We're talking about managers more than I think we ever thought when we go through all these series. I wonder if it's like Rosie said he thought Hauser was going to be the Brewers' kind of difference maker this series. I wonder if that was Craig Counsell's almost player empowerment. Like, you're going out there this inning and they might throw Jock out there again. You go get him this time. But yeah, we're definitely in a place if Hauser gets involved in the series again, you can't let him see Jock.
Well, and they're not even going to start Jock just for that reason.
Yeah.
How are you in with the decision to pull Peralta for the pinch hitter?
I gotta ask Brewers fans, because we were walking around the office. I wasn't locked into every pitch, so I don't know how he was attacking that part of the order. If he was looking fatigued, I don't feel like I can speak.
I think the reason was it was strictly offensive. There, it wasn't like we're gonna get him out of the game. It was 2nd and 3rd, no outs. I believe his spot was up.
All right.
So I mean, that's kind of a decision you have to make there. It's early in the game. You got a guy that's like, you can get some length out of him still. He's looking pretty good. And then I think that's the right move, though.
Well, no, you don't have to go to Hauser, though.
Exactly. I know that's a decision you guys. I was asking if you thought the decision to take him out and pinch hit right there was the right call. I don't watch a ton of National League baseball, to be honest with you, until the playoffs come, and then I'm like, dang, like it's fucked up. Some of the things you have to do as a manager in the NL, like you got to make a decision to pull your starter, who's like, not doing too bad, to pinch hit in the what is it, the top of the fifth.
Yeah, and I mean
I think it's the right play.
Talking about how dead this Brewers offense is. I mean, you got Urias hit by pitch, Narvaez double, so you got second and third, one out. Yeah, and you're the Brewers. You need anything on the board. I get it, but also like NL people, I've been giving you some love recently with my guy Daniel Bard and his hit the other day. Urias had the playoff hit. That's cool. But this is also where NL baseball sucks. Like, I would love to be sitting here talking about how Freddie Peralta announced himself on the national stage and went 7 innings, shutout, toe-to-toe with Ian Anderson. Instead, we're talking about him, well, he got pulled with 57 pitches. Like, that sucks. It's not good.
Yeah, and if the offense as a whole wasn't struggling so badly, I think maybe the decision might be different there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, both pitchers got pulled early. I mean, Jock went in for Anderson.
Yeah,
and they were both starting. I also don't like that aspect of National League Baseball, but that's the strategy that they love, is taking out the pitchers that are doing well and having to replace them in times of need. It kind of sucks, but I'm not the Freddie Peralta. I'm fine with. It's just Hauser has to face 3 batters. They're gonna bring Jock in. He's on the bench, and it's kind of like a looming thing. And he got him last time, and he gets him again. There's got to be a little bit like kicking yourself.
Yeah, I mean, your other options are Hunter Strickland and Brad Boxberger, who came in the game. I don't know. It's Jock. You just kind of got to tip the cap to Jock. Tip the cap to Jock, really.
It was a different pitch too. He got the sinker, I think, last time. This was a high fastball. He went oppo, and this one he pulled. And obviously, there's nothing that you can say about the Brewers negatively that would be more of a blame than the lack of offense.
Yeah.
Like, no matter the decision, 0 runs ain't winning you shit. So,
and
it's also been interesting to see. I feel like, the National League's always going to have these strategies here about when to pull, who's pinch hitting, playing the chess game, sending a guy up, taking him out. We've seen a lot of that in the American League games too. Like a lot of that, which is, I think, cool. It actually makes me want to have universal DH even more, because when it comes down to the playoffs, like, there are still going to be strategic moves made. So that'll satisfy that hunger for the people that like that too.
The strategy is still there. The only thing that you lose, or the only thing you gain from the DH, is you don't have to take out pitchers who are pitching well.
yeah.
Well, I think during the year, your American League team's pinch hitting is not very. I mean, it's very few and far between.
I don't think it's a
playoffs
big
is
loss.
different.
Yeah.
I think
I agree with you.
Shout out to the 3-batter minimum. I know, Peter Moylan and Jerry Blevins, a couple guys that don't like that rule for personal reasons, but it really does add an interesting element. Like, that's when teams trying to trap a pitcher, and hopefully as the game develops, we'll see more of that in AL or NL ball. They bring in that lefty, and you've got a guy like Luplow on your bench or whatever it is. That's fun baseball strategy. That's kind of winning the battle. But, I don't know. I mean, Brewers, you got to score. You didn't score. And that's a shout out to my guy Snit. Huge manager day. Because let's say they do go Ashby there. They're not going to pinch hit Jock, I'd assume. I mean, Jock's never been a on-lefty guy. So then you have Jock still in the hole. And he's like, again, their only scary bench piece, and he's been utilized perfectly. 3 for 3, 2 homers. So, like, hey, shout out to Jock Peterson.
How about it?
You got that playoff swag right now. Like this, he's like, this is my time, boys. I've been here. I've done it. Put me in. And he stepped up.
Is Ashby the plan today after Lauer?
It's all hands, right? Elimination game.
All hands except Corbin.
Yeah, no Burnsy.
Burns.
Give him an inning. Give him an inning. Fuck yeah.
I mean, they have to come out and say, like, he's not. They don't have to, but they're not going to come out and say, yeah, he's ready to go. I mean, he might get an inning.
You think they took his cleats out of his locker and said, nope, don't even tempt me?
I don't know.
That's what I would do. If I was a manager and I had a guy like Corbin Burns and I really didn't want him to pitch, I'd be like, hey, bro, if I see you in spikes, I'm fining you like 20 grand.
I mean, is the other play, like, is today Woodruff's throw day? Like, do you have him ready for an inning if you need it? I don't know. If you get it to Game 5, you've got Corbin Burns, who might win the NL Cy Young plus 4,000 beginning of the year. You got to do anything to get it to Burnsy in Milwaukee. So if it's Woody's throw day, like, that's got to be on the table.
It's the only two people that can't pitch today are Peralta and Burns. That's it.
Well, how long can Morton go is my question about today's game, because if they need to pinch hit for Morton early in the 4th or 5th because that's their time to get offense, and basically they knock Morton out of the games themselves because of they need the jock at bat with bases loaded and 2 outs, that's a big win, I think, for the Brewers, because he shut them down until those last 2 batters last game. So if the Braves can score a couple early and give Morton a 2-run lead, I think they ride Morton until he's at 90 pitches or whatever.
3 days rest for Chuck.
I wonder if he's got to have a lot of experience, at least sometimes doing.
No, I think Ravitch just tweeted it because he's doing the game on radio, I guess. He said it's the first time he's done it in like 13 years or something like that.
Damn.
Right?
It should be available, and I mean, hey, for them, Max Fried's ready for Game 5, so that's why this series has always been going 5. Sorry, Atlanta.
Yeah, he's pitched once on 3 days rest back in 2008. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs.
2008.
The Brewers have to freaking score. Look.
You gotta score.
What were you doing?
How many runs do they have to score today?
1.
You think just 1? I know they can score. It might be a really low-scoring game again. You got to score 4 to win?
I took the under.
BBD, what were you doing in 2008?
Graduating elementary school.
Okay.
Wait, what?
It was the last time Charlie Morton threw on 3 days rest.
If it was in the playoffs, I was in 6th grade.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Remembering right.
Happy birthday.
Man, the Brewers' offensive numbers.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
Adames has hit well. He's got 4 hits in the 3 games.
Pitch around him.
Yelly 2 for 10 with no extra base hits. Avasale 1 for 11 with no extra base hits. Colton Wong 1 for 12 with no extra base hits. Yikes.
There's no one that's really scaring you right now in that lineup. I mean, I guess Adames. But think about how crazy that is, that Willie Adames is like your biggest offensive threat. He's obviously had a great year, but the guy's a shortstop, man.
Like, good for him coming off the last playoffs last year.
Can't see.
Yeah. Give me to a team where I can see the fucking ball. Dang it, I cussed again.
Dang it.
Well, it's all right. Last year he wasn't in Tampa.
Trev, let's get you on the Phil Rivers. They weren't playing games in Tampa. Let's get you on the Phil Rivers cussing plan where you just start yelling dag nabbits and stuff like that.
Oh, man. That's him and Jake Peavy.
Weird
facing him.
Didn't Luck do that as well?
I think Luck might be there.
Andrew Luck?
Dadgummit.
Yeah. He's too smart. He's too smart to cuss.
Stanford man like yourselves.
He's so smart that he's like, I'm going to get killed here. I should probably just stop.
I've already made a lot of money.
This is not good for me.
Don't look like I'm going to win and probably just ruin my future if I keep playing this dumb game. I'll just leave.
That takes what a freaking decision, man.
I'm all for it. Kind of. Whatever.
Okay. Prediction?
We're going 5.
I'm rooting for
game 5.
I'm rooting for Game 5. I don't know the formula here because the Brewers just need to hit. Like, do they need to start doing small things? Do they need to change their approach? It doesn't seem like they're going to do that, but rooting Brew Crew, I kind of think the Braves will lock it up. Salt man. They just got to hit, man. There's nothing.
Yeah, I think the momentum is there for the Braves. They're tasting it. Obviously, within one game of the World Series last year, I think you just see teams that happens to in the playoffs. Like there's just something about coming back the next year and being like, we're at least getting to that position, and we need to get more. And they've answered the bell. They made it happen. Here they are, one game away from the NLCS again. So I'm taking Braves to close it out tonight.
Bang.
Hopefully the under hits for
Thank
you,
you,
James.
Yeah, I appreciate
It's
that.
nice.
Yeah, I like when my friends win money.
All right. Game 2 from yesterday.
Mm.
The only series clinching win on the docket. My dogs are going crazy. Can you guys hear them?
I thought I heard a little something, but not really, no.
Cool. Good job, microphone.
Trevor Plouffe was 8 for 26 with 4 doubles against Jake Peavy. Jake, on your mark, get set.
Hell yeah,
All
Trev.
right.
Boston tries to close out the series in the bean with Erod getting the pill for them. On the other side, Kevin tries to cash in on Colin Micropenis McHugh's big season to open up for the Rays. We're scoreless into the third, but the Red Sox got 5 on it. They pull Micro P McHugh and the kid McClanahan. First relief appearance in the year, and Raphael wishes him the best on his endeavors. 3-run home run. Verdugo. My old people in the park getting it on with the RBI double, and J.D. Martinez goes off the wall. 5-0 Sox. Could the Rays chip away? Austin Meadows, RBI grind out. Isn't he wonderful? 2-run homer. It's 5-3 in the 6th. We got a ball game in the 8th. Crooked neck Brazier in. Kiermaier with the RBI double. It's 5-4. Randy Rosarena. It's a tied game at 5 in the 8th. They couldn't score Randy. Second base, no outs. And in the 9th, mama, there goes that man again. Kike, do you love me? Are you riding into the ALCS? The Boston Red Sox. They go Erod to Houck to Taylor to Brazier to Whitlock. Big 2 innings at the end. Red Sox win 6-5. They win the series 3-1, and they advance to the ALCS.
What'd you say about Colin McHugh?
I said he had a huge year.
Good year. Really good year.
Huge year.
They should have pivoted from their plan and kept him in. IMO.
18 pitches, 2 clean innings.
18 pitches, no runs, right?
Yep.
And then they brought the kid in, McClanahan.
You know, when he was warming up, I guess I don't want to say, like, I'm not just some genius watching a TV, but the shit looked a little bit more flat. And that's what happens with these guys. You know, if he's not used to coming back and pitching like that, a little bit of short rest.
He never pitched on that short of rest before in his career.
It just makes your stuff just a little bit less dynamic. And those boys were teeing off on him. Teeing off. Like the green monster almost fell down yesterday.
Yeah, they were teeing off.
Imagine.
Feel bad for him. It's a tough spot. Like we were talking about how whatever, people get mad. This comparison I'm going to make. How the Yankees were taking Andrew Heaney, who had never pitched out of the bullpen before. And they were like, well, now you're a high leverage reliever. And it's like, what? I've never done this. Well, at least Heaney had some experience in the league. McClanahan's a young kid. He hadn't come out of the pen all season. He hadn't pitched on 3 days rest all season. McHugh was throwing good. This definitely felt like a pre-planned, and this is what the Yankees do, and I hate, like a pre-planned script that they just followed because that's what they wanted to do. And they're like, well, we only wanted 2 innings out of McHugh, and we got 2 great innings out of McHugh. Let's make our move and go to the kid. And I don't know. Didn't like it. Didn't work out.
You think it was like they wanted him to have a clean inning?
You don't need to use them.
I think
I know. That's what I think too.
I think a little bit of what we saw there was the Rays. They had a plan, and they wanted to follow it. They were hoping to get 2 from McHugh. He throws 18 pitches. No strikeouts. His last inning, he gave up a couple balls that were hit decently to center, I believe. But McHugh, the year he's had, and he throws 18 pitches, his last outing was 37. Like, he's got more bullets in the tank. And this is a do-or-die game. Like, the Rays season is now over. To go to McClanahan in that spot, like, you could kind of talk me into it because McClanahan, and as we break down the Rays kind of this offseason, you know, they were missing some guys. The mighty Rays bullpen wasn't exactly the mighty Rays bullpen, you know, especially compared to last year. But, you know, McClanahan was kind of supposed to be their Game 5 guy. I think they asked him if he was good for today. So in that way, they were going for it. But you also brought him into a tied game. It's not like you were bringing him in, you needed 3 innings to finish the game, and you didn't have a better option. Like, this was still mid-game tied. Like Jimmy said, it's his first time pitching on that short rest. It's his first time coming out of the bullpen this year. You're setting up, like, one of your prize pieces in the organization to fail, to be honest. And he did. And so for the Rays to do what they did the rest of the game, and they're willing to go to Kittredge early. They're willing to go to Fairbanks. Like, I don't know, man. I think they tried to do a little bit of Rays magic and surprise them because we were streaming with Jolly Olive last night. We thought maybe Boz found a way in this game, which, by the way, same story as McClanahan, but you're hunting for innings. And to go to him, I don't know. It just felt like they were saving McHugh for Game 5, and guess what? There isn't one.
I don't know, man. I don't mind them putting him in. Like, it's not you're setting him up for failure. You're telling him you trust him in this spot. He's been that's their best pitcher right now. It was. Put him up against the heart of the lineup and see what he does. And I mean, look, he was just a little flat. And the Red Sox hitters are experienced, and they had seen him in Game 1, and maybe they had a better plan against them this time, and it just didn't work out. I don't have a problem with them doing that. Because that's just kind of, like you said, it's how they operate, man.
Kittredge and Chargois had been their better pitchers against the Red Sox. So, tie game still. Get some innings out of those guys. See if your offense can put up some runs. I don't know. Tough task, guys. Never pitched on 3 days rest before.
Like, and that's
coming out of them.
That's just their MO. They're letting guys go do it, especially if they really believe in you. And maybe it'll change next year. Maybe they'll make sure that he has his full rest. Probably not.
I mean,
but
everyone knows that listens to Talking Baseball throughout the regular season. I've been saying forever that I didn't think they were made for the playoffs because they don't have enough starting pitchers. I know that Glasnow got hurt, but they went into the season with 2 starting pitchers. That was like their design. Like we've heard them say, we just outs are outs. There's no such thing as a starter or reliever, just outs. They need starting pitchers.
At one point, they had a ton of starting pitching, though, during the year. Enough where they traded Rich Hill away.
Not really. He was making start every 5 days, and they were still bullpenning every now and then. They just don't believe in starter reliever. Playoffs, you need dudes to eat innings, I think. I mean, they had like 9 guys. I think they only had 2 pitchers that pitched more than 1 inning that didn't give up an earned run. I mean, they used a lot of guys for a lot of innings. They only had one game where 1 pitcher pitched more than 4 innings. Red Sox had 5 guys do that. So that's just my philosophy, and it's been that way. I've been saying it in the playoffs in general. You need to throw starters to the pen, not just rely on 7 relievers every night.
Yeah, I think that with Glasnow, everything changes because that's kind of giving you what you want. But they are set up. I wish Glasnow was going to be back next year. Seeing McClanahan, Boz, Glasnow, and whoever else, like Patino.
2023 Rays, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that is 2023. It sucks we have to wait a whole another year for and he might not even be there. I think he's going to be a free agent, isn't he?
Tyler?
I think so.
I think he'd be back. I don't know.
I I think he's ARB too, and I think he said himself like I'm not expecting to come back. The Rays trade ARB 2 guys.
I do think the other side of this story, and when we're talking pitchers and Jim, I think there's definitely something because the 2 Pivetta outings this series were huge. The Houck outing, and that ties into Cora's empowerment. Like, hey, Pivetta, the plan wasn't for him to go 4 innings in those games, but he was rolling, so Cora let him go because he was stretched out. The other side of that coin is the Red Sox hitters were disgusting. There was 2 scary Rays hitters, and I was on the Rays lineup all year, Randy and Wander. When those guys were up, it was trouble. Brandon Lau went 0 for this series. Guy hit 39 dingers this year. Nelson Cruz didn't do anything this series. Yandy didn't do anything. Zunino didn't do anything. Meanwhile, on the other side for the Red Sox, Schwarber was a problem. Kike was unbelievable. Devers, Bogarts, Verdugo, JD I think he went 7 for 15 this series, and he was like a bonus piece. Vasquez, he had a 563 slug this series. The Red Sox lineup on the other side of that Rays pitching, because Jim, you're right. I think on the World Series part, to get through the World Series with the Rays with the limited pitching, they couldn't get these guys out enough, no matter whether it was a starter, reliever, whoever it was. The Red Sox lineup they're a problem right now.
Here's the thing. I think the Rays would have taken the amount of runs they gave up in the series. They shut him out game 1. Obviously, Boston went crazy game 2, 14. But then it was Boston 6. I mean,
in a playoff game, I don't know.
I mean, sorry. Rays scored 5 game 1. Scored 6 game 2, scored 4 game 3, scored 5 game 4. They average giving up 4 runs a game. So I think, I mean, their offense not great, but maybe they take that, and then it's really more on just the pitching. And really, James, that it was the game. It was the extra inning game. Really hurt them.
But it was the extra inning game, Trev, but it was also game 2. I said after game 2, they lost by 8 runs, but because it wasn't a blowout early and they don't have guys that can eat innings like Pivetta did from the Red Sox. If they had a guy like Pivetta that could just eat the last 4 innings in game 2, and they tried Waka, but he couldn't do it. But they had
they did. They left what's his name? Our guy, the lefty. They left him off the roster.
Yarby.
Yeah, they left him off the roster. But I mean, in an 8-run loss, the Red Sox kept it close enough that the Rays had to burn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitchers in an 8-run loss. And that's brutal. You got to be able to have a guy eat that. Pivetta eating those 4 and whatever it was in game 1 saves the Red Sox pen for the rest of the series. And the Rays just aren't set up to have guys that eat innings. I know Glasnow got hurt, but we know that their philosophy is outs are outs, pitchers are pitchers, but you need guys to eat innings.
Yarby. Could have been that guy.
Patino got used really weird in this series.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, because
that's a good point.
He was supposed to be that guy, kind of. But it's almost like they weren't sure what they were doing with him. I don't know. Red Sox, so much good juju right now. The lineup's tough. The Rays and Kevin Cash, I think you can question a lot of it. Whether it's pitcher usage in game 2, whether it's just an unlucky Hunter Renfroe hits a ball into the bullpen, and
that's what I'm saying, man.
If this was going back to Tampa, I mean, I think we'd still be saying everything about the Red Sox hitters. I think we'd be talking about how they have Hawk available, but if it was a game 5 in Tampa, tough to bet against the Rays because they're sickos, but Boston does it. They love that dirty water right now. It's good times in the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Pivetta for me, taking that 4th, 5th starter and letting him eat innings later in games. It's the same thing Evaldi did for him in 18. So I love that formula.
It doesn't always work though. He's made it work. That's tough to find someone that can turn it on like that.
Oh yeah, but the last 3 World Series winners have done it. Dodgers did it with Urias last year. They did it with Evaldi in 2018. 18.
18.
Nats did it with Corbin in 2019. Houston probably should have done it with Cole when it was.
I mean,
his
hey, the
throw day in
Rays tried to
2019.
do it with McClanahan. Didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
But we are. I mean, look, we have to give credit to the Red Sox. Got the job done. Vasquez. I mean, you talked about it a little bit, Jake, and I also mentioned it this morning with Chris. That lineup we talked about all season long. Oh, it's top heavy. It's top heavy. Well, it's not top heavy anymore. JD Martinez was hitting 6 last night. The guys at the bottom of the order were scary. Renfroe, Vasquez in the 9th inning. Vasquez coming up, and they kept talking about how much Cora trusts him in these big situations, and that's why he's getting the starts. Came up big again. Base knock to start the inning off. Like, their lineup got long.
Their hitting stats are silly this series. Hunter Renfroe had a really nice playoff series. He hit 294, a 368 on base. He doesn't register as one of their top 8 hitters this series. Gross.
Kiermaier to the Yankees.
Kiermaier to the Cubs.
Royals.
Hot.
Dodgers probably. He's probably going to the Dodgers.
He's going to get traded. People didn't understand when I said that yesterday, but I mean, they're going to pay him $11 million when they can just replace him.
Ooh, maybe Trev's.
They might, because he's kind of the heart and soul there. He's really a key cog.
They don't
there.
believe in
give a
hearts
fuck
and
about
souls,
that.
Jim.
They
Of
see
course they do.
silhouettes.
No, it's not true. KK's
We
different
tried to find how many guys the Rays have let be granted free agency. It's a very short list.
Ooh, how about the Texas Rangers? Let him be the face.
It just depends what they can get for him.
I mean, he made a bunch of nasty defensive plays. That Kiermaier throw, we haven't even, that doesn't get
love it.
mentioned. His catches, he hit this series. His stock's high. The last time a Rays playoff stock was high, Snellzilla went to San Diego.
They're gonna shop him. You're
Oh,
right.
for
Joe.
sure.
Like, they're
They're
gonna
gonna
want
shop
it, but
everybody.
they're definitely gonna shop him.
Everybody.
Yeah. All right. Game 3 of the day. Another barn
Game
burner.
3 is brought to us by Dugout Mugs. If you were streaming with us any of these nights, you saw us rocking with our Dugout Mugs, drinking from them, clinking from them. Dugout Mugs are the absolute best. It's a baseball bat you can drink out of. It kind of doesn't get better than that. And by the way, how about a free knob shot? You like drinking Grandpa's cough medicine a little bit? Trev's got the Twins knob shot right there. You can get it for free right now, dugoutmugs.com/talkin. You just have to pay the shipping and handling on it. They've got everything. I mean, they've got player mugs. They've got team mugs. I think there's a Talkin' Yanks, Talkin' Baseball mug there. We might have to reach out. You can get personalized engraved ones. The engraving is, badass. I think it's the coolest part of the mug. It's legit. It doesn't look like, me and BBD were carving them out in the basement and shipping them. They are the real deal. Go check out.
What were you guys doing in the basement?
Yeah, Dugout.
If you weren't carving wood, what were you doing?
We were carving wood. Dugoutmugs.com/talkin. Get yourself a free knob shot. Thanks, Dugout Mugs. Oh.
Jake, on your mark, get set, burn.
It's Game 3 in Trevor Plouffe's L.A. Mad Max Scherzer would unleash his Fury Road against former Dodger Alex Morningwood as he tried to crank out a win for the Giants. Boy, the wind was whipping in this one. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're scoreless into the 5th. Wood looks good. Scherzer looks great. Evan goes Longo. Trev's guy, Longoria, buying Charizard's mid-game. Hits it 407. He might have hit it about 450, but it lands 407 in the crazy winds. We're in the bullpens. Rogers is throwing from a gross angle. Jake McGee, my guy. And Doval comes out. Senor Grosso. But it's bottom 9. Gavin Lux barrels one. He points to the bench. Buenos Cantos, boys. Oh, no. The wind knocks it down. Lux. Oh, what is you doing, baby? Meanwhile, Gabe Kapler and the San Francisco Giants take a 2-1 series lead after shutting out the mighty Dodgers 1-0 final.
How about this
Golly,
game,
What a
man?
game. What a game.
1-0.
1-0. What's funny is my boy got down there. He was at the game last night. He texted our group chat talking about the wind. He's like, never seen it like this here before. And it played, I mean, that was the biggest factor in the game, essentially, was this freaking wind.
The Giants had 5 hard hit balls.
Scherzer dealt, man. It says on the sheet here that he
Dodgers
had
had 13.
Oof. Scherzer fixed a mechanical issue. Lower half. That's what he was talking about. So that's nice to hear for the Dodgers. If they can get past the Giants, that's really nice.
Did you see Scherzer like fell off the mound in the first inning? Mid windup. Wind was just messing with him.
The Giants brought that old candlestick weather to L.A., man.
That's what I was saying. They're more apt to play in that shit.
I love
Gavin Lux hits a ball that's a home run 70% of the time, and the outfielder like runs to the wall and then it blows in for the last out. That's Giants baseball, man.
baseball.
They hit homers and then something weird happens that you're like, I don't think that usually happens, and the Giants win.
Man, and are we going to be talking about the 2 times the Dodgers didn't make it to the World Series? Will Smith hits what looks like a non-turbo ball, because if it was a turbo ball, it would have been out. Are we going to be talking about this Lux shot the same way? I think the storyline, and if we start talking about Duvall, you're going to lose me. That dude's making me feel things I haven't felt in a long time. The Giants defense, I told you guys beforehand, I tweeted about it last night. We watch every Yankees game, and then if we've got energy in us, me and Jim try to flip to the other games. Trev, he's a man of the people. He watches every game every night. That's what he does. The Giants look like they play a different sport than the Yankees defensively. Brandon Crawford, special. Donnie Barrels, Donovan Solano makes a huge play at second base. Longo's been doing it for a while now. Man, Buster Posey catching the kid last night, more just emotions. I hope what we've been saying about the White Sox and some of these power teams, how we hope they win, so it kind of, the sport evolves towards that, to, you know, getting your big man starting pitching and having a deep lineup and having athletes and all of that. Man, I feel that way about this Giants team, because I know we don't have the perfect formulas to quantify defense yet. But whatever the Giants are doing should be the metric, and then come down from there. They were special last night. The pitching was gross. Gabe Kapler hot. I love the Giants.
I have a question for you guys. We keep referencing, you know, a team playing baseball old school-ish, winning the World Series would be good for the game. Hasn't that happened the last, 3 years? 18 was the Red Sox. They weren't like a nerdy team, like you'd say. And then 19, the Nationals had baller starting pitching, enough where they got to move their 4th guy into the pen, which you like, Jim. And the Dodgers in 2020, I mean, they're an analytical team, but they also pride themselves in having starting pitching in depth. So I feel like it's been there, right?
Yeah, welcome to my rants.
So I don't know if another team winning the World Series doing the same thing will change anything. I'm just saying it's already happening and things aren't changing, at least in Yankeeville. Is that what you're talking about? The Yankees just need to
The Yankees try to copy the Rays, and I want them to stop. And I've been screaming from the rafters, look at the teams that win the World Series. Starting pitching.
That's how do they get away from starting pitching? I don't understand that. That's crazy to me that they would ever think that you don't have to have starters.
Yanks have spent more money on their bullpen than their starters, until Cole.
Essentially, you have to have both. I mean, that's the
you need
dirty little secret here. You need both.
You need 4 studs. But starting pitching depth, having nasty guys that can go more than 1 inning at a time will benefit you. But the Giants also, what they're doing and how Cap did the 2-inning save and he used his best relievers versus the best hitters, that's a little different from, probably 10 years ago now. That's kind of changed. I think Tito with Andrew Miller back in 16 was the first time we saw that on full display. Like, he might be our closer, but we're going to use him against the best hitters.
They also had who? They had
he wasn't the closer, but you're right.
Yeah.
They had Allen? No.
Yeah. Allen. Cody Allen.
Yeah. But that was the first time that I think we saw it deep in a playoff run.
Yes,
they're like,
right.
It's not just going to be an eighth inning guy and a ninth inning guy. Our best reliever is going to face their best hitters. It could be the sixth inning, seventh inning. I feel like that was the first time we saw it, like, on the main stage. And
high leverage became a term right there.
A lot of teams do that now, but to see it done perfectly is always nice.
Tito and Cora, huh? Can I talk about Duvall? Because it's kind of on the topic. Because I love him. I think Brian Anderson was on the call and he dropped the K-Rod comparison, which I don't know if that was out. That kind of came from my head, but whatever, not a big deal.
I think the wind-up's there.
The wind-up's there.
He rode the bus a couple times this year. He got called up on September 5th, and 15 games during the regular season. He didn't give up an earned run. In the playoffs, he hasn't given up an earned run. He has the lowest pulse I think I've seen out of a reliever. It was almost past bored that it was as intimidating as it gets. Like, you see guys out there that try to act bored because they know they should keep their pulse down to be in control. Duvall looks like, I don't even know. He looked like a murder movie. Someone's about to kill you, and they're already at grips with it. He's so gross, man. He's a storyline.
How old is he?
Interesting. If you would have watched Sequence out last week, you would have known all about the cold blood, or what did you call it?
Cold pulse.
Blood? Ice in his veins.
No pulse. Slow heartbeat.
He's basically dead. He's a zombie.
Slow heartbeat.
24.
You would have learned all that stuff about him. And yes, it's all true. He's disgusting. He did pitch 2 innings last night, but only 22 pitches. He's available tonight. He made Justin Turner look silly. Yeah. Justin Turner doesn't look silly that often.
First pitch sliders. Ugh.
He's got that. He just, if my memory serves me correct, there was just 2 balls that bounced in the other batter's box that Turner took a full hack at. Oh, it's wild, man. Just to find that guy.
BBD, you want me to give you the pitch she's talking about? I have it right here.
Please.
Pitch going to
104.5 miles an hour in the minor leagues this year, by the way.
Disgusting. I mean, dude, Longo, I know we've already given him a little bit of love, but he is the only dude who got a run across. Shahadi interviewed him after the game and gave him the "Did you know it was gone?" which right after the Gavin Lux stuff was fun. And Longo, he chuckled, and then he was like, "If it wasn't, I was leaving." So he
said he would have walked home.
Poppy really put a charge into one. And man, like, Longoria, Crawford, Posey, like, these dudes are dudes, man.
That's disgusting, dude.
I actually like the first pitch better because, like, Turner got on that. But the first pitch is like, I said just send the BBD. It's in the zone for a while, and it doesn't hit the dirt, but it's still, like, just nasty.
Yo-yo.
Longo said, the first at bat he strikes out against Max, heater up, and he's basically was like, look, I hadn't got a hit all series. He's like, I just was not going to get beat by the heater again. So, a little cheat job there. And he said that it was just a tick lower than the last one, which helped him get to it. But I said this again. I mean, I have to repeat myself quite a bit because I am on Baseball Today right before this. But I was talking about, the good teams zag when other teams are zigging. Or they zig when other teams are zagging. What's the saying? I don't know. And Farhan's like, look, everyone's going young. I'm going to get some value in some of these older dudes. They already had some of them, obviously, with Crawford and Belt and Posey. But going out and getting Longo, going out and getting the Darren Ruffs, guys that they aren't gonna. They understand the situation. They're gonna give you professional at bats. That's why they stick around so long. And look, these guys have just they've figured out the rest thing. New York needs to go talk to the Giants. They've figured out how to rest their players and get enough out of them because they've done it so well this year. These guys are just. I mean, they've all had like career freaking seasons at this age. It's crazy.
What's Dodgers all hands look like tonight?
Ooh.
I'm hearing Bueller. We're hearing Bueller is starting on short rest.
Is that official or is that just
or birdies.
Okay.
We're hearing birdies.
Okay.
interesting?
But I think you got him and you got, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you save anybody.
I know you don't
Urias
say, but
is
what does
there.
that look like?
Bueller, Urias. I mean, who pitched last? I mean, everyone's available, even from last night. They had some pretty quick innings last night as well. So it's like you have Trinan, you have Knievel, you have Kenley looked fucking disgusting last night.
I love him, man.
He just blew dudes away, which is crazy because not too long ago we're like, oh, Kenley's done.
He's throwing 4 pitches. Like, he's reworked
Yeah,
himself. And if there's anyone like him and Doval going back-to-back, I think is something we're going to look back in a few years and be like, that was kind of beautiful. Because Kenley, pretty low pulse himself. And, dude, they're both just got these legs on them and limbs. They like, you guys are monsters.
Chat's yelling at me because Longo was here before Farhan got there. So I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. They're not zagging. They're not zagging when everyone is zigging. They're zooging.
They're
actually.
zooging.
That's what people are saying.
I want to shout out 2 former Dodgers who had great post-game comments. Jock Peterson was asked about hitting the high fastball from Hauser and powering it, and his answer was, I'm a pretty good player. I don't know.
Yes, you did say that. Yeah, what do you want me to say? I'm good.
And then Doogie got asked I don't even know what he was asked, but he dropped a Boston accent on everyone in his post game. They asked like you got a Boston. I don't know what they asked. Do you talk like a Bostonian now?
That's funny.
And he
He's
just
got
said
some
like,
interesting
yeah,
facial
your
hair.
cousin from Boston over here. So funny.
I like
That's how you grow your star, Trev. Get in the playoffs. You get a post game interview. Say something fun.
I'll remember that for my next lifetime if I ever make the playoffs.
Our team.
We already previewed Astros White Sox.
Right?
Yeah. So whatever.
Astros. Closing it out. Lance McCullers Jr. about to shove again, my guy.
He is your guy.
Damn.
I said him and Urias are my 2 pitchers right now that I'm like, I trust them more than anybody else in the playoffs right now. Maybe Scherzer because he figured it out.
I really like Rodon. I hope he does well. Like, not even like even if the Astros do win tonight, I don't know if you guys saw they showed I don't know if they had the guys mic'd up, but they showed the White Sox dugout just watching the crowd, and they had Rodon mic'd, and he's just like, "This is awesome, man." So I will be rooting for him. That's official.
Okay.
What are you looking at,
I
Timbo?
like that. I don't know. Someone just like talks shit about me for something. I was trying to figure out what they were referencing.
Let's go beat him up.
Yeah, I don't know. Some Reddit notification, some thread about them being mad about something I said or something.
Okay.
Who did Farhan bring in? Okay. Solano?
Feels like an off season.
My nerds comment made everyone mad yesterday.
Hot.
Fucking nerds.
People don't understand that we talk about baseball every single day, and we know that the Rays tree is everywhere.
No, I have no idea that Heim Bloom comes from the Rays.
We didn't have a shirt that says "Give Heim some time," and didn't talk about how the fact that I played for those guys, and we talked about them at fucking ad nauseum. How about that for a word? I think that's
You're hot
Latin.
today.
Look it up. Look it up. Is that Latin, Jimmy?
Sure.
BBD's our Latin guy. He says
Oh,
yes.
that's right, baby. La Stella, I said rough. The chat's helped me out now. He zagged, all right, bro?
Zerged. What time are the games today? You got a
Later.
5 o'clock. We're going to be live for the 5 o'clock. I don't know if we're having a guest anymore. That got messed up. But Jake and I, Trev, this is big news for everyone. If you're a supporter, need your help tonight. We will be live on the Bleacher Report app after the Brewers Braves game and the start of the Dodgers Giants game.
So yeah, the Brewers Braves game might leak into Giants Dodgers. So we're gonna stream the whole Brewers Braves game on our channel like we've been doing. We're gonna reset, get our technology set and all of that, and then we're gonna go live Bleacher Report. So if it started Giants Dodgers or maybe second or third inning or something like that, and we'll do a couple innings. We'll have some fun.
So we need our crew to show out for us. So anyone still listening to the pod is probably part of that crew.
Numbers.
Pump the numbers, make us look good, help us out, engage in the chat.
Where is it again? How do I get there?
Bleacher Report.
The Bleacher Report app. And say, wow, these guys not only are super good looking, but also funny. I don't know.
You don't have to say the first part. Yeah.
You don't have to say any of it, really. Just be there.
Funny looking.
Yeah, but looks aren't everything.
Well, you guys are just going to be on different networks then. Maybe I'm going to have to be on a different network as well. Looks like this show's done.
Trevor Plouffe from the Magnum Condom Studio tonight.
The show is done.
It's
Damn.
406 episodes in. It's time me and BBD took our show on the road.
We'll ring you right back in, man, right when the fucking labor pod comes.
Oh.
People don't want that. They're like laughing now, like, oh, I want a labor pod. No, you don't.
It's
No,
like
you
a lot of homework, man. We're gonna get a labor pod.
We're gonna get Gibby. Gibby, tell us what's happening.
Can I ask you a question, Trev? This is an aside, and we got to end the show. But we did this on the live stream 2 days ago. If winter meetings are only going to happen if they come to an agreement before winter meetings happen. Winter meetings are usually the last weekend of November.
They won't have it. Why do you say that? Is that out?
Yeah, that's what I was told. It's not going to happen if there's not an agreement because it's all about signing players and GMs meeting and doing trades and all that stuff.
The CBA.
So they'll just be on their group chat like they usually are, just talking about salary suppression. Okay, cool.
So the CBA doesn't it's not up until the end of the World Series, which I believe is, if it goes 7 games, November 4th, and then winter meetings is supposed to be November, say 27th. Like there's no way they come to an agreement in 3 weeks, right?
Well, they've been working on it already.
CBA expires December 1.
They've had a few face-to-faces, but I don't think they've gotten anywhere where we're going to be done in November, unless they decide let's just do a year
contingency
bridge. Yeah,
it's probably the best thing that can
love
happen.
A year of bridge.
Punt it. Winter meetings.
I don't know.
December
I mean,
6 was last year. Supposed to be.
I don't know what side would prefer that. Probably the owners would prefer that. And the players would probably not prefer that.
But even in that decision, they're still going to negotiate shit like the DH and the extra inning rule and all that. So
Get ready.
So no winter meetings.
I don't know if they happen. We're going, but they'd be in Orlando, which Orlando sucks. But I think that's a fun place to have
Warm weather.
I had a great time in Orlando this past year.
I think it's a fun place to have winter meetings because there's whatever hotel they decide will probably get taken over by like a baseball convention, and it'll be like localized and small. And then if we go, there's tons of content opportunities on the bookends of winter meeting days in fucking Florida and
Dibs on Goofy.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be at the Four Seasons. We'll be in the Lazy River naked.
Oh yeah, I mean if it happens,
alligator comes in, bites Jake's.
I'm actually very excited about the Orlando
Well, tell
area.
Trev what's about 35 minutes outside of Orlando.
I know he's not gonna get it, but it's a small lake called Lake David that I owe 2 people tickets to.
It's where they dump the
Okay.
gators.
It's Gator Lake.
Well, they dumped the gators in the lake next to it.
Oh, I love that. Drew Butera is the mayor of Orlando. People don't know that. Yeah,
I had no idea, man. Congrats to him.
him and Sal, they run it together. Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta go pee. My body's gonna explode like that.
Wait, one last thing. Zach
Yeah.
Hampel. All-Star Game 2022. Come see me, baby.
I'm out. Like Zach was nice
I'm
guy.
not.
He was a nice guy in person, but like seeing him run in front of all those front row people to catch a home run in front of them. It's not batting practice, dude. Like in batting practice, there's kind of a social agreement that everyone can run around and grab balls. During the game, that's fucked up. People pay for front row seats because they get a chance. A ball can get hit to them. Running in front of people in their seats. If you're on the concourse and you want to run for a free ball and grab it from someone, fine. Don't run in front of someone's paid seats and steal a ball. It's fucked up. It's stupid. I'm over it. And I don't think I've ever like fully voiced that, but that was bullshit. It's like I told Jake, it's like if they have like the lucky winner for tonight's game is section 109, row 16, seat 5. And Zach Campbell just runs in front of it. And it's like, that's me. That's not how it works, man. Let the ball, if the ball's hit to someone's seat, they should have a shot at that ball. They shouldn't have some asshole running in front of them stealing it. Batting practice, concourse, I'm fine. It's just over.
Totally get that. And I can't wait.
Oh, he gives them to kids. Yeah, well, one that's more fun. A kid getting a ball on his own. Like if an adult handed me a ball, I'd be like,
Did he
"Fuck,
give those to kids last night?
I don't want it. If I grab a ball as a kid, I love that. If I was 10 years old and the guy like handed me a ball, I'd be like, dude, I didn't get that. I don't want it. You jumped in front of me and stole it from me, and now you're just handing it to me out of pity. I don't want it. So I'm kind of over that. So I don't want to do content with him in the All-Star game.
No. We're not doing content with him. I will be taking it over.
Oh, okay.
Me and Peter and I, we were going to talk about it, strategize.
Yeah.
We will be taking it over.
Why don't you record those strategy meetings?
Couple beers and our baseball gloves. We're good to go. That's it. That's our whole strategy.
Watch the
Find
video.
the guy
He
in the
runs
yellow
in
shirt.
front of like 8 people. It's fucking stupid.
He did freaking own me at the last
Yes.
All-Star game, so that's weighing heavy on my mind.
And that's
on the
fine.
concourse.
That was like that's the environment for it. If he stays back in the concourse and the ball's pinballing around, like he literally ran in front of people who were just in their seats.
Yeah, that was brutal last night. It was.
like that's not a good look, man.
He reps the shield, though. He reps the shield.
Yeah. All right. Play the outro music. That's the episode.
Yeah, and you come into the Dodger Stadium bleachers. Good luck.